Hello, welcome to this walkthrough of the Starring Me journal. My name is Ron Stemkowski, and I created this journal, um, which is part of my collection at a little business I've created called Twisted Plot Paper. And I don't think I have done a walkthrough, so I thought this was the perfect time. I am a huge journaler. I have been journaling since I was about 13. I started writing on those old, if you're old enough to remember what a stenographer's notebook was, it flipped on top, it was yellow, had a line down the middle. But through the years I used notebooks, and then when I graduated from college, a friend of mine gave me this beautiful bound hardcover diary, journal, whatever you want to call it. And I've been using things like that ever since. But I had the idea for this journal probably 25 years ago, and I finally decided to bring it to life. And a quick backstory is that I thought of this when I would move to Chicago by myself, and I didn't know anybody, I didn't have any money, I didn't have any friends, and I spent a ton of time journaling. And I mean, I filled up journals faster than I've ever done in my life before. And at a certain point, as a child of television, I was raised by television. If you are a Gen Xer, you get that. I just watched it all the time. They were my friends who lived on the TV. So I started writing my diary entries or journal entries, I'm not particular about, whatever you want to call it, as recaps of TV shows. And this TV show was the TV show of my life. And I found in time it made me start doing different things and trying different things and going to different places. So I'd have a more interesting recap to write the next day, right? So if you hear any noise in the background, it's my neighbor snow blowing, because we in the Chicago area have had a decent amount of snow the last day or two. So I've been writing that way on and off ever since. Initially, I wrote them all as TV recaps, but as an avid journaler now, I like to mix it up. Sometimes I do just recall the day or whatever, but I've had this idea for a billion years, and I finally designed it, put it together, and it's for sale on Amazon. And this is it. It's a Starring Me journal, your life, your stories, your show, a groundbreaking personal journey in binge-worthy episodes. I put created by, is a callback to a TV show, right? Now, it's your TV show, so you really are the creator, but I created the Bible. So let's open it up and take a look inside. I tried to keep it centered. This is brand new, so I should probably break in the pages a little bit. So cardstock, open it up, and you got, there I am, the copyright. You've got the website for the business that kind of has a couple of other journals, and I'll add more over time. I've also written a few journaling guidebooks if you're not sure how to journal or if you need prompts. They're on the website as well. And we've got the cover page here again. And then we've got the kind of the outline, kind of the high level, right? To get you excited about writing about your life. I think that another benefit of thinking this way is I think a lot of people forget that they're the star of their lives. They are the main character. They are not the wacky neighbor. They aren't the sidekick. They are the star. And I think a journal like this really helps remind you of that. So we've got this. We've got the table of contents, which is, of course, is your programming schedule. We've got your show overview, which we'll look at in a second. Characters and cast, sets and locations, and your episode guide. This is where you can put your name as the showrunner. Now your show can have a title. You can take this as seriously or as non-seriously as you want. My TV show had a name. Maybe I'll reveal it someday. You can also, if you can't think of one title, you can list a couple. And maybe your show is a specific genre, right? Maybe comedy, drama, dramedy, reality, sci-fi, soap opera, or maybe it's something else. And then you can also go by episode if you don't want to, if your show wasn't always a drama, right? You can go by episode. I put check boxes there too. So you can do a synopsis of what your show is about, and maybe you kind of wait until you filled out the whole season, so to speak. And then you get to cast in characters. And we want to meet the star of the show, right? That's you. Um, what's your star quality? The one thing that makes you unforgettable, right? What are 3 roles you've played in life that you're proud of? For example, friend, parent, survivor, adventurer, mischief maker. How would your biggest fan describe you in a glowing review, right? Like let's make this fun. Journaling should be really fun. It shouldn't feel like homework. What's something you wish more people knew about the real you, right? Write your personal tagline. Think Real Housewives. Make up your tagline, whatever you want it to be. And then, if you want to complete this in a world where blank, I always blank. Like in a world where order reigns, I always cause chaos. Stuff like that. And any awards you've received for your performances, right? Let's keep it fun. And then I've given you a bunch of pages for more about you because it's your story. A bunch because, the star is the star. And then there's lots of different prompts to kind of help you maybe think about things a little differently. I'm trying to help people think about their lives from a different perspective. So I've given a bunch of things like your character arc, signature traits, strengths and flaws, casting notes, the big stakes, right? The risks. And maybe like, what are you secretly hoping for? Stuff like that. What's the twist? And then we've got a bunch about you with the star, you. And then you want to get down to the main cast. Now, maybe your show is only you. That's cool too. But, think about like your besties or even the recurring characters, right? People you see, your neighbor, your coworker, the coworker who you see only once in a while, but when you get together, it is insanity. You can put their role in the story, defining traits or catchphrase like Urkel, right? Does your friend have a catchphrase? Did I knew that? All that kind of stuff. So giving you a bunch of pages for that. And then we get to sets and locations. Like Happy Days had Arnold's or the 90210 Kids had the Peach Pit, and of course there's your home, your bedroom. Maybe that's your home base. Maybe you're on location because you're on vacation. So I just gave a bunch just to give you extra space for that kind of stuff. Then you got the episode guide, this is the meat of the book. The rest of the book is just these episode guides. Now, this is a guided journal, right? So that's why there's guides. So you have a 2-page spread for each episode, right? And you can put in the season number, the episode number. Then you can go for the vibe here. Like maybe maybe you want to do it by episode and not by season in terms of the type of show. The air date, what date did this take place? Opening scene, guest stars, today's plot, right? I find it so much more fun when I read back through my old entries when I was a lonely kid in his early 20s living in Chicago. And I really, there are people that I would see out at the bar, so I never knew, but they were always there. So I made up characters for them. I wrote about them, and I gave them all names, nicknames, but I'll never share. Journals are private. Behind the scenes, what are you thinking or feeling? Your commercial break, like pause and reflect. What surprised you? What did you learn? What are you grateful for, right? And was there any music, soundtrack, episode theme? And then maybe you want to rate this episode for you. How did it feel? So that's the bulk of the book. And there's about 90 episodes, I believe, in this. So you have the rest of the book to write about it. And then you can keep the book. I don't know if this will show, but I'm a little too far. Let's see here. So you can line these up. You can fill them up with your adventures and your misadventures, however you roll. Hey, I respect either way. But this is a Starring Me journal, and I've been thinking of this for so long. I'm so proud of it, and I hope that you like it and you want to use it and you find the joy in putting your thoughts on paper. and looking at your life a little differently. That's my biggest dream. That's why I created this. So have a look if you want. Thanks for your time today.